5G and wireless exposure in 2025. Swiss study review part 1. This study, which was published recently in the Environmental Research Journal called Exploring the RF EMF Levels in Swiss Microenvironments. This is a very interesting study, so I'll explain why you should be concerned and interested. Here in part 1, I'll explain what they did and explore what it means to you in the next parts. First off, this is the first time a study has been set up to understand how exposure to mobile phones differs from place to place, and specifically how the use of the device is distinct from exposure to background environmental radiation. They looked at exposure in both urban environments as well as rural areas and tested the exposure of the individual in airplane mode, where there is only background exposure really being measured, along with a max download simulation, along with a max upload simulation. The idea here is to measure how your use of the phone will impact your cumulative exposure in different environments, what they call micro environments. These included parks, trails, bus and train stations, schools, industrial, residential neighborhoods, etc. This seems to be an important area of study that should get more attention as the understanding of the real dangers of microwave exposure spreads. They compared the transmitter off exposure baseline levels, which is simply exposure to the background microwaves in the environment, along with two different methods of simulating a high use scenario. They didn't test exposure levels of someone just carrying around a phone that is in idle mode, ready to receive a call. So this was a limitation. But the other two exposure levels showed magnitudes higher exposure levels, including much higher levels, especially in rural areas. In the next part of this series, we'll get into more of the details of this interesting study of 5G and wireless exposure. Consider protecting yourself from microwave exposure by visiting emfsafe.com/protect and use the code TRUTH to save when you check out. You can read more into the references inside the free members area at forbiddentreatment.com. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for longer videos on rumble.com/PsyopTruth. That's PSYOPTRUTH. Visit B17chocolate.com for a healthy spin on dark chocolate.